Hi everyone, it's Ria here with today's heart message. I'm just going to pull a card from these images from Mother Earth, which is one with our own heart energy, and it helps to bring focus and alignment to our heart. I know it seems very, very simple, but to me, the heart is the purest path and avenue in order to connect with Source. And when you connect with Source and have that direct line of communication, I think you see more clearly. You get your answers more clearly. You're directed and guided more clearly. So it's like just cutting through all the other layers and just going directly to the source to have open heart communication with your higher self. So I'm just going to take a breath in and exhale and just say, hey, Spirit, God, Universe, Mother Earth, what card would be most relevant? What message that we need to hear to open up our own heart energy and tune into that energy in order to bring forth a physical manifestation that's in our highest good, our greatest alignment. Oops, and one just popped out. Our highest joy. So we got this little heart. It's like a little playful, fun little snow heart on the beach in the winter. Almost like he's reaching forward. He's moving forward. And today I'm actually going to put some reading glasses on because I am having a heck of a time reading this tiny little writing in the font that I picked. So let's just get into it and see what it says. It says communication. Spirits on the other side of the veil are in communication with us always. Loved ones that have passed over may manifest into other physical forms to remind us of their love or to give us reassuring guidance, hope, and inspiration. In truth, we are all spirit. The physical world holds no separation from the eternal beings that we are. So this is an awesome, awesome message. I think it's very specifically telling us that whoever of you out there are viewing this is you do have spirits. They are trying to communicate with you, whether it be a guide, an angel, a loved one that has passed, even though there is not really a passing per se, but they've gone beyond the veil, absorbed back into the fullness of who they are, and are trying to communicate and give you guidance and encouragement and sending you love and helping to keep you strong. They're trying to communicate, and they will communicate. Spirits will communicate with us in the way that we understand. Like, for example, let's say you remember a certain scent, say a grandfather or an uncle or a friend. They always had this certain smell, and you always think of them when you smell that scent. And I know from my own personal experience, I pick up scents a lot, and I can tell that there is a particular person that I've known that is now in the spirit realm. I know them from the smell, and that's a way of them getting your attention, letting you know they're there, trying to open up a line of communication. When you're open to communicating, they can send you thoughts, energy that you understand from a heartfelt level, or it's just kind of put in your mind so you understand. You might hear words, you might hear something that just pops in your mind, and like a little phrase. Like I used to do these I always used to do these messages, like inspirational messages, and when I'd go running, I might have something that I was dealing with, and I'd be given the answer. Because when your vibration is higher, and I get a higher vibration kind of when I'm relaxed, I'm out in nature, and I'm clear so that I can receive information. And one time I had this little thought pop in, and it said, match all the hearts you see when you're out running to your messages. And in my own human physical mind, I thought, did I just hear that? That seems really boring, because at the time I would go on the internet and I'd find these images to me that were matching my messages through my blog, and I would post the image that I found on the internet or the picture that matched my my messages. And then the little voice said, oh, match them to the hearts. And I'm like, hearts? That's just kind of, I thought it was kind of boring. I says, how can there be any connection? It's just a heart. There's so much more in a picture or somebody doing something. And anyway, so I listened to that, and then hence I've got all these deck of cards, and the simplest of picture like this or a little more complex of a picture like that tells so much more to the story. And it kind of challenges me to expand and to look deeper into the picture. So my point is, so that must have been an angel or spirit guide obviously popping into my mind, which is also, you know, they're connected to my higher self. So they're going to give me images or messages that are to my highest good and highest joy. So what I'm saying, not to get off track, is you, I'm sure all of you out there listening, must have someone trying to speak to you, whether it be a guide, your higher self. So it's just saying kind of be open to communication. And when I see this little heart, to me, white represents like purity, innocence, clearness, openness. And because, and right here, it's almost like it's moving. It's trying to reach out. It's trying to communicate. And it's grounding. It's trying to ground that energy to you. So you get this heart energy. And it's, to me, it represents divine and spirit world in itself when it's like pure white. It's like representing white, pure white love and light. And to me, it's like you've got the spirit trying to relate to you. You might have had a friend that maybe has transitioned into spirit world, and they were really, really into hearts, or they were really into daisies. All of a sudden, you might see a daisy or a heart, and you might just kind of pass it and say, oh, so-and-so used to like daisies, or I really miss so-and-so. And they can appear or take the form or create the form in your path to get your attention to communicate. And when you're in a higher vibration and feeling good, because spirits and angels and guides and anyone in the spirit world that is not in the physical manifestation anymore, their frequency is higher. And in order to receive information and communicate, they have a much easier time when your vibration is higher. If you're feeling really, really sad or depressed or being negative or focusing on the negativity, it's much, much harder for spirit to communicate with you because they're at such a high vibration. And so when you can get yourself elevated, whether it be through a walk or meditation or listening to music or a relaxed state of breathing, then you create and open up space for the energy, the communication to take place and the guidance, because you're not cluttering it with lower frequencies, which are more dense, and it's hard to receive when you're more dense and focused on, I don't want to say earthly, but more physical, heavier energy. It's just like, for those of you that are really like into working out or running or going outside, and you get these messages and you think, oh, that's so beautiful, I don't need to write it down, I'll remember it. Because a lot of times when I'm running, I used to like have to record or put it on my little notes on my phone, because I would get such a cool, insightful message that I really connected to. But I would tell myself, well, I'll remember. But if I didn't write it down or speak it or put it in a voice memo, I would forget it later on in the day. And I'm like, oh, what was that? But it's not so much that I'm being forgetful. It's just that I wasn't on that same frequency or vibration in order to remember the information. And then it will come to me eventually. But a lot of times you might forget something, or you forget the communication because you're not at that same level, that same frequency to receive. And so when you are relaxed and you are at that higher vibration, or you're just thinking of something beautiful, it automatically, like if you can just think of something really beautiful, I'll think of my son, my pure little angel, and it really, really just floods me with love. And you can feel, when you think of someone you really love, you can almost feel like you're vibrating, and all the little cells and molecules vibrating more so. So it means you're in a higher vibration. And when you can put yourself in that state, you open up lines of communication. So I kind of rambled on probably a little bit too much with this card, but I just feel really, really strongly that there are spirits and guides, higher self, all of the above, because they're all collectively, in that state of love and communicating, and we're all one. But I just feel like this message is saying there's great love for you, and you're being protected, guided. Someone wants to communicate with you, and just try to get in that state of mind where the communication allows. And don't doubt. Doubt is one of the greatest obstacles. When you doubt, you kind of like stop the flow from flowing. You could say you get these signs 3 times. Say this, you see this robin all the time, and you saw it 3 times that day, and you kind of dismiss it and you go, oh, that's kind of funny. But what you should do is really just settle, take a deep breath in and say, hey, little robin, what are you trying to tell me? Just try to relax. And either at that moment or later on, you will receive a message or guidance. But it can mean anything. It can be communication. It can mean even the symbolism of where you saw the robin. And say you are thinking of moving, and you see this little robin by a moving sign or on a U-Haul truck, or, the communication is endless. It's not always just through the ears and through words. It's through symbols. It's through feelings. And the greatest, truest communication is through the heart. It's through a feeling. If all of a sudden you feel flooded with love, you have no words, but you feel flooded with love, that's all that is needed. Because the energy of love is what alters everything. It shifts you to a different vibration, which will shift you to a different world, reality. And it can happen instantaneously. It doesn't have to be step by step by step. When you have this great shift and your frequency raises, things can change and manifest like that. So look for the reasons to communicate. Look for the reasons why things can be. Look for the expansion of love, and you will always, be on the right path. So that's today's communication, the card for today's communication. And this card could just simply mean you've had someone on your mind on the earthly plane, and it might just mean, hey, give them a call, communicate with them. So it doesn't necessarily have to be spirit. It can simply be you being reminded that, that person you were thinking of, just give them a call, give them a text, send them an email. All right, guys, thank you. Have an awesome day.